In this week's edition of Financially Focused with Dennise Williams, we share snippets from a conversation with Managing Director of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Marlene Street Forrest, on how to invest your way out of debt. When you're in debt, should you invest or keep your cash? Dennise says debt shows your past decisions, while investing is about your future. Mrs. Street Forrest says the Jamaica Stock Exchange, JSE, can help.
The stock exchange is all about helping you to plan for the future because it is about investing in companies and investing in companies that you expect will provide you with a return on your investment. So, just to make it simple, if the company does well, then you will get a dividend on your investment. If the companies um, do well also, the increase in that price, because now the price of those shares will go up, usually go up when a company does well, and then you also benefit from that. It is long term as companies are here for the future, and so investing in companies listed on the stock market is a good way in which to build your wealth, to get more money, to ensure that your future is secure.
The JSE executive also speaks to the discipline investing requires.
Okay, but the stock market is long term. But having said that, one of the things that we emphasize is that the stock market provides greater liquidity for persons who want their money now than many other forms of investment that give you a good yield. So, for example, when you invest in property, that tend to be stable and give you a good yield. But the point is, when you are ready for that money now, what do you do? Do you sell that house in order to cash out? Yes, and that takes time. Well, with the stock market, you could sell a part of your portfolio. Some shares now, the market is there readily available for buyers and sellers. Sellers who will naturally have buyers who are interested. So I want to put it in the context of long term and having your money now. But generally, what we encourage is that it is long term. The businesses are there for almost in perpetuity. So keep your investment, and then you can capitalize. You can actually sell when you are ready or buy more.
Yeah.
So it is that fluid. So it is that great. There is a discipline to invest even though you have debt. You cannot invest what you don't have naturally. So there must be some cash available for you to invest. But let us look at it properly. If you are paying your debt and you have some cash to invest, you know, assess and analyze. Am I going to possibly try to pay down that debt faster, or I have the option of investing in the stock market or investing generally? Now, in the event that your interest rate on your debt is going to be higher than the amount that you're going to be getting from an investment, then common sense would tell you that the better thing to do is to pay down your debt. But more than likely, and the stock market shows this over the years, that over time, and then so time is going to be an important element, one, and the interest rate in determining whether you use that extra cash to invest in the market or not. And if it is that the yield or the rate of return on many of these securities or the ones you choose would be higher, then it would make sense that you take that cash and put into investment. And remember, now it is always fluid.
I found myself yesterday with a little tips, 2,000
Mhm.
Jamaican dollars, which was about like 16 US, and I
Yes.
invested. What's the point of that? It's just 2,000 or 16 US dollars. That's not big money.
And Dennise, that is exactly, I'm glad you made mention of that example, because sometimes people say, well, invest in the stock market. You have to be a rich person, or you have to
Right.
wait until you accumulate a certain amount of
Right.
50,000 or 100,000. And it's not so,
Yes.
because you
Not
could
so.
buy just a few stocks. As a matter of fact,
Yes.
oh, we have configured it now. You could buy one share. It wouldn't be worth your while because of the brokerage fee or so, but you still can buy
Right.
a few, and then you
Yes.
gradually, and I want to talk about gradually, so that is what you do. And then you tell your
Yes.
children also, look, that money that
Yes.
you would have used to buy the video game, that probably you could have
Yes.
bought from a
Yes.
friend or so, put it gradually into the market, and you would be
Yes.
surprised to see the cumulative effect that it has.
Yes.
And then you're on
Yes.
your way to having that nest egg for that big thing that
Exactly.
probably you want down the road. Yes.
That mindset. So I'm asking, if you have any, words of encouragement for persons to make space in their life for investing, so that at the end of the day they can see what they're gaining from the money they work so hard for. Because it's that life isn't to work and pay debt. That's not life.
Denise, I am gonna say this about one, I think it's one broker, and it always resonates with me. And it said one less. And that is how you
Mm.
make space many of the times. One less. If you can think of things that you can do, that you don't really have to do it, it's a want as against a need, then that in itself is making space. Making space also is, and you talk about the credit card. If I can pay a little more than that minimum payment, it means that I'm not multiplying the amount of interest I'm paying. And that amount eventually will provide you with some monies to invest in the market. And as we said, when we say some monies, doesn't have to be big. As a matter of fact, I encourage people to test the waters. The other thing is, we can also make space by that part-time, sometimes we might do a part-time job. We might do something that is very creative online or otherwise. Again, that is making space. So it is how making space can also be just how you manage that debt. As I say, do you make just the minimum payment, or can we do a little bit more so you make space? So these are some ways in which you make space in order to invest in the market. You get that extra, that little bit more. It was a windfall, you did not expect it. Sometimes that happens to us. We get a little we did
Yes.
not expect, and immediately we think of what to buy.
Yes.
Instead, say to yourself, let me think about what to invest, because we did not expect that amount of money. So these are some of the things that we can do.
For more information on the development of your financial future, head on over to financiallyfocusedmedia.com. And that's it for this extended edition of the Business Report Inside the News on PBCJ. I'm Gabrielle Thompson. Pleasant viewing.